Good morning, good morning. It is What the Fuck is Feng Shui? The masterclass. I am so excited to have you here. I am going to tag a friend and let's see. Just make sure that everyone can get into watch if you're able to. This is going to be super, super fun. I love Feng Shui so much. And so I'm going to tell you all of the things. Sarah says, okay, we're waiting for Shannon. She's struggling to find it. Is Shannon in the group, Sarah? If you want, you can, maybe she didn't hit the join group. I'm not sure. I'm just going to take a look, but if not, you can just go ahead and invite her and we'll see. And then I can either if the tech team is on, she can be added in, or I can add it in. Just gonna see who I'm here. There's Kim. I'm just connecting to some earbuds. Okay, sounds good. For those of you, while I am just making sure that we have Shannon in this group, if you would just like to say hi, let me know that you're here. Tell me where you are coming from. That would be fabulous. Where are you in the world? We have women from all over, so that's pretty exciting. Sarah, can you see if she is in the group? I'm just taking a look now. So tell me where you're from. And this is kind of good because we will allow some people the time to hop on. I'm so excited. So for those of you who have not met me yet, my name is Sandra Priestley and I am a leadership coach for female entrepreneurs. I'm also a Feng Shui practitioner. I received my certification in 2010, and I'm going to sort of talk to you about why I'm different from the majority, from every Feng Shui practitioner I know, how I teach it a little bit differently. It's not popping up for her. Okay. Okay, Sarah, I will see if I can add her in here. So Shannon, I'm going to talk to you about how I sort of make, maybe I don't have her. I don't think I have her as a friend. Sarah, can you invite her? If you go to the top of this group, get out of this video, go to the top of the group and go invite, and then I will approve her. She can also watch the replay too, but it would be nice to have her live. So if you were hopping on, make sure you say hi. I love for people to interact. I love for people to ask questions. I love for people to, really engage, because as you ask questions, as you engage, I think I'm smarter, quite frankly. But today is all about what is Feng Shui and how do I explain it. My whole goal is to simplify it. It's confusing as fuck. So when we can simplify, there's Shannon. When we can simplify Feng Shui and we can just make it make sense, it becomes so dang powerful and fun. So that's the goal here today. In the next 3 days, actually, you're going to be able to understand Feng Shui so well that you'd be able to explain it to someone else. You'd be able to even help them. Maybe redesign a couple places and redesign their lives. Like, this is just so powerful for me that I just love it. It is everything that I am. So I'm excited to be here. So let's just talk a little bit about why I felt compelled to move into Feng Shui. At the very core, morning, Lois. Thank you for saying hi. At the very core of who I am is this person that believes in the law of attraction, the universal energy. I believe in prayer. I believe in faith. I believe in acting as if. I believe in law of attraction speak of be, do, have. And I use Feng Shui as like the extra piece of manifesting what you want, but also feeling better. The thing that I notice sometimes is that people can be so stuck in what is and not necessarily in what we can create. And I use my space and my mindset and my energy in order to get into this where I'm going energy. When we can get into that energy, we can start to manifest miracles. I have used the Feng Shui tips that some of which I'm going to be sharing here this week, to manifest the impossible. And I'm going to tell you some of these stories today. And just see that no matter where you are, we can shift to extraordinary. And I use Feng Shui to do that. Feng Shui, mindset, action, all the good stuff. So Feng Shui at its very core is just this knowledge that, or based on these principles, that everything is energy and energy patterns are predictable. And when we understand the energy patterns in our space, we can redesign our space using those energy patterns. It feels better, and we can use it literally like a 3D vision board for our lives. I've used this to manifest a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. This isn't just, I'm going to manifest and then I'm going to open up a course and make a lot of money. This is like the impossible things. Like when we sell a house for $50,000 more than we thought that it would be worth. This is scholarships. This is awards. This is provincial championships. This is winning. I won a $10,000 skidoo, which seemed illogical. I feng shuied my wealth corner and I received $330,000. There's Shannon. Welcome. I received $330,000. I knew this was coming, full disclosure, but they told me it was not possible in the month of February. There was no possible way this was going to come in, likely April, possibly May. And I went, no. February is the wealth month in this course that I'm coaching right now. February is wealth month. I'm working on my wealth corner. I'm going to make it happen this month. And $330,000. In fact, that was $100,000 more than I was expecting to. And it was deposited 2 months prior to them telling me that it was not possible. There was no possible way that I would be able to get it in February. Isn't that crazy? What else have I been? House sales. I've helped people sell their homes so fast when it's not logical. I have helped my past business boss save her company. I'm a wealth generator for sure, but in every area of our lives, in all 9 areas of our lives, we can use the energy of our space, the knowledge of our space to shift from what is to what's possible. When we shift our being, our whole energy of our being into what's possible becomes limitless. So everything is energy. Energy patterns are predictable. And when we understand the energy patterns and we start to design our space with that knowledge, we can begin to design our lives. That is Feng Shui. That is Feng Shui. So let's go back. I'm going to start to really talk to you about my journey with Feng Shui, and I'm going to be giving you practical, tactical, strategic tips throughout this 3 days that you can implement now. I'm going to help you figure out which areas of your home are representative of which areas of your life, and some like simple shifts that we can make. So let's go back to Sandy, this tiny little girl who was, I don't know, it was probably like 8 or 9. And I was living on an acreage with my parents and my brother and my dog. And 8 or 9-year-old kids, they have big problems. And I was always the person who was more quiet. I didn't really interact. I had a few close friends. And I had a friend who left me in grade 1. She was my best friend, big problems. And what I noticed, and I mean, also my dad is an alcoholic. So, there was some stress and some tension in the home. And every once in a while, when things would kind of go to shit, my mom and I would redesign something. If we just needed, it just felt like we just needed a refresh, And so if I was struggling in school, like just with friends or whatever, I would come into my house or come into my room, and that was kind of my safe haven. And I would come into my room and I would want to redesign it. I would want to move things around. I would want to shift where the bed was and shift where my dressing table was. And I would want to repaint. I remember one time, and I tell this story all the time, but it stands out in my mind as the moment when I really understood the power of changing your space to change your mindset, to get you into what is possible. And so instead of what is. So I remember I had gone to school and I was struggling with some friends, I believe. And I came home and I said to my mom, can we just change my room? I just want to change my room. And so she was always all for it. And I'm pretty sure I was 9 and I was like the wallpaper queen. I'm 50 now. So, this was the 70s. And so we went and we found wallpaper and we found paint. Now my wallpaper was like huge, dark purple, like this color purple, huge, dark purple flowers of some type with big, huge white flowers. And it was black and white and purple. I don't know where the black came from because I'm pretty sure there were not black flowers in the 70s, but possibly. And it was the brightest wallpaper. And then we painted the rest of my walls the matching purple. I friggin' loved it. Up until this point, I had pink. And I decided that day I hated pink. So we shifted to purple. And I remember I felt better. I felt different. I felt excited. Whereas before I felt like this kind of energy, oh, it's pink. I hate pink. And the pink seemed to be, to me anyway, the little girl. But having this like bright purple, having this like vibrancy in my space, and it didn't cost us very much at the time anyway, but like it was just paint and wallpaper. But there was something magical about it, and I started to realize I feel better now. I'm not stuck in the mud. I'm not thinking, oh, my life sucks, my friend's gone, and this boy teased me. It was like, oh, I love my space. Have you ever felt that? Like, tell me below when you have shifted something, when you have changed your space up. I don't care what it is. My neighbor right now, he's getting his shingles redone on his house. And he literally is like, oh, my shingles look amazing. Whatever it happens to be, we want to be in that energy. We want to be in this energy of like vibrancy and excited and loving our space and loving our roof and loving especially our bedroom, because that's where we regenerate. That's where we need to feel safe. We want it to feel like a damn spa. We want it to feel comforting and beautiful so that our bodies can regenerate. Our bodies can feel good. Our bodies can heal. They heal when we sleep. So we want to be able to bring in that what else is possible energy. And when we shift our space, even just slightly, even just, I know some women who were like, I want to change in my energy. I want to move my couch. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the simple shifts. And what I realized is at a young age, I could feel better and I could shift my energy within my body when I changed my space, because it shifted the energy within my space. This is the basis of Feng Shui really, is we are in constant interaction with our space. Think of your space as this living, breathing being that is constantly sending you messages, and specifically sending them to your subconscious mind. If you want to know why if you want to manifest some amazing things, you've got to believe that it's true. If you want to lose weight, I've just taken this course from this amazing Jamie Morocco, mindset is lots of it. We have to believe that it will work. If we sit in what is all the time or what was, we can't shift our energy to be something that's positive. If you watch The Secret, there was a woman, I think she had breast cancer, and she said she watched like comedies all day long. That's what she did. She healed herself. Like she healed. She was cancer-free. I believe it's what it said, or it was in remission. But because she literally focused on fun and happiness. This is what we want to do. We want to create an environment that speaks to our subconscious mind, that tells us where we're going and what we want to create. This is why our space is possible. Or this is why our space is so important, because it helps us to manifest. Now, Shannon says, my mom always did that for me, and I still to this day move my room around or my living room all around all the time. Yes, I do that for my kids too. Go in to see my son in our condo in Edmonton where he lives, and I'll go in and I'll just even go in, not even shift the furniture around as much, but even just like tidy up and make things look nice, add in some, like a nice bowl on the kitchen island, like even just anything like that will shift the energy too, right? But it's always so fun. Like if my kids are sick, the first thing that I do is go into their room and tidy up and make sure that they have fresh towels and a clean bathroom to use, and everything just feels fresh. And I believe 100% that it helps the energy move within the body when we move the energy in the space. Sarah says, I redid my spare room in November. Everyone loves being in there. This is also the thing with Feng Shui, is like when everyone loves to be in the space, it's good Feng Shui. Our bodies intuitively know. We intuitively know where it just feels good. We know it. And when Sarah in November, when she did her space, it was like, I said it's like the Daniels Hotel, because she just made it to be so beautiful, like such a beautiful spare room. But what's amazing about it is that all of her kids, like it's like they fight for the spare room instead of their own room. And they go there when, when they want to be a little bit like more supported. That is like the best feeling in the world, because you know that that room is designed well. So I started off and I could really understand that I could shift my space, change my space. My mom every once in a while, should we redo the kitchen? I'm like, yeah. I was like, as a 10-year-old girl, you would think that I would not jump for joy at the idea of putting wallpaper in a kitchen. That is a pain in the ass, by the way, because there's a lot of things you've got to go around, and it was the 70s. So it's like yellow and brown wallpaper. And we painted the kitchen cupboards yellow. No kidding. It was the 70s. And it really was like that 70s show. But I loved it because we could refresh our energy. And so I knew this intuitively. I could feel it, but I didn't know anything about it or why that worked. And I always joke and I always say that I was raised by my grandma, or my mom, my grandma, and Oprah Winfrey, because every single time I would come home from school, I would get to watch Oprah. Oprah was on like, 4 o'clock or something like that every single day, the Oprah Winfrey show. And so I would get to watch Oprah. Now, that day, or one day, I was watching Oprah, and I will never forget it because I was watching it in my mom's room. Now, again, it's the 70s. We had those box TVs, and it was probably just newly color. Like, I don't even know, but the color was not fantastic. I remember that. And I was watching Oprah, and she had on a Feng Shui practitioner. So this Feng Shui practitioner came through her extravagant home and talked to her explained a little bit about Feng Shui, and talked to her about there was an area of her space that represented wealth, and there was an area of her space that represented relationships, and one for health, and one for her career and life path, and one for helpful people and travel, and one for family and ancestors, and one for fame and reputation, and one for wisdom, self-knowledge. And I was like, what? This is so cool. I don't get it, but I'm like intrigued, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, if Oprah uses this, okay, we gotta all use it. If Oprah uses it, we gotta all use it. So I kept watching, and she had redesigned her space. They talked about the command position. They talked about her, like everything was just so intriguing to me. And I immediately connected it to my purple wallpaper. I immediately connected it to, wait a minute, my life shifts when I put up the wallpaper and I change my space, I feel better and my life shifts, because when we feel better and we feel excited and we feel happy and we feel into what else is possible, we see things differently. I say this all the time, but it's like if you're walking, looking at the ground, what is, right? Looking at what is, feeling sorry for yourself, maybe even looking backwards, seeing where you were. This is different than gratitude for where you are at. This is like, do. Like my husband says, he jokes and he calls me Raymond for that show Rain Man, because when I walk like Rain Man, he would look down at the ground, and I'm always so worried that I'm going to trip that's what I do too. And I can seriously get lost on a path I've walked on forever because I'm not paying attention to ahead of me. And this is kind of the thing. If we spend so much time in what is, we're not seeing the amazing things. Shannon says, me too. I could walk into a wall in my house almost, Shannon. But we're not paying attention to the things that are coming to us. We're not open to the miracles. I got to tell you this story. And yesterday, my husband said, he was the wildest thing. He was sitting at this is like Sandra Priestley story hour, but he was sitting at the kitchen table, and he's a prankster and he's a jokester and he's always got some smart ass comment. And I'm talking about something serious. I don't remember what it was. And he gets up from the counter and he comes over to me and he touches me on the forehead, like right near my third eye, really. He touches me on the forehead and he says, "Everything I touch turns to gold." And I looked at him and I said, "That is so fucking freaky. I can't get over it." And he's like, "Why?" I had just written that on my journal the day before. I was doing affirmations and I was doing this belief work that my coach, Jana Kingsford, uses. And it's like to clear out limiting beliefs, because we got to do it all the time, right? To clear out limiting beliefs and then open ourselves up to what else is possible. And so what else is possible was like, this equals everything I touch turns to gold. Now, sometimes people would just go like, look at the ground, not notice the synchronicity of that, not notice, whoa, that is too weird to be a coincidence. Why did the universe, my guides, my angels, God, have that happen? What is the message there? When we can sit in this curiosity, when we can sit in this like, oh, isn't that fucking magical? Our life can shift. When we sit in awareness, our life can shift. And so I not only use journaling to get out all my crappy thoughts, but my space is speaking to my subconscious mind all the time, and so is yours. And I always say this quote, and it's like, your space speaks to your subconscious mind. Make sure it has nice things to say. If you want to manifest the amazing shit, if you want to have an amazing life, if you want to be happier, be healthier, be wealthier, be wiser, be more zen, what is your space telling your subconscious mind? Our subconscious mind, they say, controls 80 to 90% of our actions. 80 to 90%. And the thing is, we don't know what's rolling around back there. So for entrepreneurs who make a lot of money, especially online. It's hard to be online, you know, because we're out there all the time. So you got to move through those limiting beliefs. Because the limiting beliefs, the stuff that's rolling back in the back of your mind, you know, I was doing this journaling entry and all of a sudden something came out and I was so shocked that I thought it. I was so shocked that I thought it. It was rolling around in the back of my mind. I didn't know it was there, and it was affecting my actions. And throughout the years, I've uncovered a lot of things, but one of them was that people that have a lot of money have had to have screwed someone over to get it. And what happened was I was then not charging anyone for everything that I knew, for all of the courses. I would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on courses for myself, on up-leveling for myself, on coaching for myself. Do I have the knowledge to help people? Yeah. And I was giving it away for free. Why? Because I had those thoughts rolling around in the back of my mind that if I make money, it's because I'm screwing someone over. Now, is that me? No. And it was shocking to see the connection. And we do that from our space. Our space can be the thing that speaks. It is the thing that speaks to our subconscious mind all the time. And we can start to reprogram it. We can start to, when we start to live in a space that just feels like luxury, and we don't have to spend a ton of money to do this. When we just design our space so that it feels good in our wealth area, we manifest more money. We allow more money in. We take action that brings us more money. And we do that in all 9 areas of our lives. So I really started focusing on, Oprah does this, I gotta learn more. So, and we had the library at the time, right? Like, I am old enough that we did not have the information highway. I went to university and I used a typewriter, and I thought I was a freaking rock star because it was an electronic one. Who remembers electronic typewriters? And also, who remembers when the typewriters actually had the like delete button, you know, where you could hit that and it would go back and it automatically used that whiteout? That was killer. Because prior to whiteout, I think we just we retyped, you know? And then we had the whiteout where you had to stick it in. Honestly, we've come a long way, Toto. Like, and so, I was like, mine. And so I started really like going to the library, learning all that I could, avoiding studying for university classes and thinking, you know, can I just use Feng Shui so that I don't have to study? I'm not kidding you. And so I eventually had to worry about university more so. And when I got out of university, I started my very first job. And I didn't have any Feng Shui books at home, maybe one. But I did know this. I was confused. There seemed like there was a lot of conflicting information online, and I couldn't seem to grasp it. Like I didn't understand why I couldn't understand what Feng Shui was. And so I started this job working for a woman. She had her PhD in education, and she was a diagnostician for learning disabilities. So she had, it was called the Prince Albert Learning Disabilities Clinic, and we did assessments for children and adults with learning disabilities. And then we also did tutoring for them. And it's at this point where she actually was watching me read one day, and she asked me a few questions. She was like, "You are so dyslexic." And I'm like, "What?" "I don't like to read, but I mean, I can read. I can't be dyslexic." And so it was from that moment on, I'm like, oh, I guess I really am. Okay. Yes, this makes so much sense. And also why I would not crack a textbook. And also why I was getting confused with Feng Shui, because I would have to read on a book and I would read, like I would skip, right? Like I would never read cover to cover. I'm not that girl. So I started working for her, and she expanded too quickly. And she came to me one day. I was the assistant director at that time. And she came to me one day and she said, "We're in big trouble. I don't know that I can pay the staff. I think I'm going to lose the second building. I don't know what to do. We have no money coming in, and I am scared. I think I'm going to lose this business. What are we going to do?" And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, I'm 22 years old and I have a sociology degree. Why? Like, you're pretty fucking desperate to come to me. Like, I don't know. I don't have a business degree. What am I going to do here? And she's like, "Sandra, we have no contracts, no money. I don't know what we're going to do. There's no possible way that we can get more clients." And I mean, remember, no information highway here, no internet. So it wasn't like we could just put out an ad like that. We had to put it out in the paper. And so I said, "I don't know." She's like, "We need a miracle." And I'm like, "I don't know. We could pray, and maybe we could try Feng Shui." She is like, "Well, what the fuck is Feng Shui?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been learning about this. Oprah uses it." And so she says to me, "I don't care what kind of voodoo shit you have to do." It's not voodoo, but that's what she said to me. "I don't care what kind of voodoo shit you need to do. Do it all." So I went to the library. I borrowed a few books. I looked through them, and I knew enough from all of my learning that there was a few things that I could do. And then I grabbed a couple more books, and I'm like, oh, this is so confusing. So I kind of picked and chose the things that I felt in tune to. I am highly intuitive, so I felt that these were the best things. Like I really trusted my intuition. And so we worked on a couple of areas in our home. And we worked on the front entrance, which is where all of the opportunities come through. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. We worked on the wealth areas of her home. There's one per floor. I shouldn't say that. There could be several. I'll just go there because that would take me too long to explain. So, but I chose the one main wealth area on her main floor and the one main wealth area on her upper floor. And we worked on that. And then I did things that were specific to her business and specific to her as an entrepreneur. One of the things that I did that I had read, and I don't actually do this in my space. I could, but, and I might do this just to see what happens. But I had asked her to find me a beautiful vase and a red ribbon, because I had read that this placing a beautiful vase with a red ribbon next to your cash register, because, okay, remember, it was the 70s, or it was the 90s, I guess. And so I had read that this would attract money. Now, we had done all the other things too, right? So she came to me and she brought me this like vase that I did not want to look at. And we didn't have a cash register, but we did sit at like, it was my main desk, like the front desk sort of. And so I thought, okay, well, we're going to put this was my sort of intuitiveness. We're going to put this vase that she gave me. It was hideous. It's not this one. I don't like this one. And I tied this red ribbon around it. She brings me this red ribbon and like, I'm pretty sure it came on, I don't know what it was. It was like this reddish orange with the plastic behind it. Do you remember that? Like it was not good. But I said, could we splurge an extra $1 on some nice ribbon? Like this really looks tacky. She's like, this is all I got. So I tied this red ribbon and I placed it on the wealth corner of my desk. So your wealth corner is at the back left. So back left corner of your desk. If you, and we're going to talk about the Bagua map in a little bit, but if you're standing in your architectural front door, it will be in your home on your main floor. The wealth corner is also in your back left corner. So I had done all of these and then I let it be. I let it be the move. My coach calls it the $1 million move. So when I signed up with her, it was my $1 million move. It was like, this feels right, let's go. I don't care how much it's going to cost. It was like $73,000. It was a lot. And it was like, this is my $1 million move. Let's go. So we made the changes to her space. We did not spend $1. She did not even spring for a pretty red bow for $1. We just shifted the energy. We decluttered the entrance. We made it nice. We moved things around. And within 1 week, we signed a $100,000 contract that started immediately. We could pay all of the staff. We had overflow. And she started to think I was a friggin' genius. And I am seriously sitting there going, whoa, Oprah's on to something. Because up until this point in time, I was just shifting my space to make it feel better so that I could feel better in my body. I'd never really seen doing something like this that would create the shift. Here's the thing. It works similarly to a vision board. When we design our space to represent what we want to have happen, it's like prayer, right? When we fully make changes in our space and we let go and let God, or we let go and we let the universe, and we do things that speak to our subconscious mind and we have full belief in them and we energetically shift there, the universe shifts for us. So now it wasn't just for me. Shifting my space made me feel better and then my life looked better. Now it was, whoa, wait a minute. Feng Shui is magic. That's what it felt like to me. And it really just is the thing, that key that can shift so much more. So I knew this. I moved to a small little mountain town where I was working as a parole officer. And I don't know, but if you're an entrepreneur, I believe you're born to it. Like, I was making good money, didn't care. I wanted to work for myself and I wanted to do something different. And so I was always taking on these like extra little things. And I had this splurge group. I don't know if you guys know splurge groups, but I had this splurge group, and it was like 10 women. Yeah, 10 women. And we would all get together, and once a month we'd throw in $20, and like for the 10 months, not summer, but once a month we'd throw in the $20, and then the one person gets 200 and they get to splurge on themselves. The following month, they then would host a party. And in this splurge group, it wasn't like just like sitting around eating wine and cheese or drinking wine and eating cheese. It was like, let's do something fun together. So one girl did like a game of where you go like a scavenger hunt. Oh shoot, I can't think of it's a movie or a series. Amazing Race. So one girl did an amazing race, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot. I can't do that. What am I gonna do? Oh my God. Another girl taught us to do something else. One day we those again from the 70s, but where you would take a wire hanger and you like crochet onto them, or not crochet, but like you braid onto them so that it's easier on your clothes. Like one day we did that, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't do any hanger things, and I'm not good at creating an amazing race, and it's already been done, so I don't really know. I'll do Feng Shui. I was so scared that these women would maybe judge me for believing in something that was, I thought, a little out there. Now, Oprah uses it. Used it in the 70s. So why was I worried in the 90s? Actually, it was the 2000s. Why was I worried? But I felt worried, and I felt nervous. But it was all that I had. It was my party trick. So I taught them, and they loved it. And I started to be invited to parties same way, so that I would teach women. They would have their wine, they would have their cheese, they would have their treats, they would have lots of fun. And I would teach women about how they can shift their space to create and design their lives. I came back one night, it was 3 a.m, and Cam said to me, my husband said to me, what are you doing? You are literally going to parties for free. You're not even drinking the wine. And you're teaching women for 4 or 5 hours on Feng Shui. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I just like it. And he said, well, why aren't you, you could charge for this. This could be your business. And I said, but I don't have a certification. So he bought me my certification. I became a certified Feng Shui practitioner in 2010. I created a business where I would physically walk through people's homes, and the things that they were able to create were magical. Magical. Reputations across the prairies. Exceptional reputations. You name it. One woman expanded her business hugely. They, especially for money, I feel like I'm a wealth generator. So for money, I really feel majority of my clients have made a significant amount of money. But even just Sarah, when she was talking about her spare room, it's in her Helpful People Travel area, right? Sarah, that's the room. And the amount of helpful people that have come to support her is just astronomical. And so the more I started to see this happening, the more I started to shift, the more I'm sort of moving into this space now. Helpful people, okay. But the more I'm starting to shift into this. Now, I help female entrepreneurs. I'm a leadership coach, and so I needed to damn well lead. And for me, this is leading. We lead ourselves. We do the things that might be scary. We do the things that maybe our coaches tell us not to do, because I got to tell you, I've had 3 high-priced, like high-ticket coaches, and all of them have said, oh, no. Feng Shui is your party trick. Like, don't lead with that. You're stepping on the edge here, because I swear I don't teach Feng Shui in the traditional sense. There are so many types. There's different types of Feng Shui, number one. And so, I've been told, well, maybe you can't swear, maybe you shouldn't call it. What the fuck is Feng Shui? But this is who I am. And it's no disrespect. It is literally what I've been asked. It was what my boss said to me years ago. What the fuck is Feng Shui? The reason I was so confused, and what I didn't realize, was that there are different forms of Feng Shui. So you may have, if you've searched it, if you Google, I tell people don't Google. Or if you're going to buy a book, I don't recommend books, because I teach this a little bit differently. I teach this more heavy on the psychology of your space, how your space speaks to you, and then using the Bagua map to, like, the energetic map to know where you're at. But a lot of this is like a 3D vision board for your life. What do you want to create? And how can your space reflect what you want to create? But there's others out there, like Compass School, which is more traditional, because Feng Shui is thousands of years old. And it used to be based, like, the main traditional one, there's a form school Feng Shui, which is like, mountains, protect your back kind of things. There's a Compass School where you'd have to get out your compass. Remember, I am Raymond, who looks down at the ground. I could get lost in a closet. Compass isn't going to help me. I don't really understand directions. So that type did not align with who I was. So when I was Googling, I was literally going, well, what am I going to do? Where's my wealth area? It's in the southeast. Where's the fucking southeast? I don't even know. Like, to be honest, I'm not sure where the southeast is in this house, and we've lived here since 2008. I'm pretty sure that is south. But I don't even know. And I don't own a compass, so why would I do that? And so I just started, I looked and looked, and I found BTB Feng Shui and the Feng Shui Training Center, and Lee Cuban, who happens to be in this group, and she is my podcast co-host. If you have not heard, we have a podcast called The Happy Half Hour on Spotify. It's really all about, like, living happy. But so funny, yeah. Like, I'm not kidding you. I could get lost in a closet. And it aligned with who I was, because it was really about just the energy of your space, and just knowing, okay, if you walk in, like, imagine your space being a tic-tac-toe board. You walk into your space, you stand in your front entrance looking in, back left, wealth, back right, intimate relationships, marriage, middle, health. And when we know this, it just felt so easy. I'm like, holy shit, that's so much more logical than me grabbing a compass and trying to figure out how to turn it on. I know you don't turn on compasses, but And I really, really started to understand it. And there was something on the website that was the thing. When I was starting to look for where am I going to get where am I going to get my certification from? I knew that I wanted to get a certification because, and my husband was willing to pay for it. He's like, Sandra, you've got to do this. You're good at it. You're good at it. People like it. Like, just get certified then so that you can do this as a business. Like, you're spending a lot of time. And remember, I had this creeping around in the back of my mind. Well, I'm a good person if I give all of my time for free. I can't charge people. But also, I'm giving all of my time for free and I'm taking it from my family. And this is going to cost me something. It's going to cost me, so maybe I can charge. So I started to look. By this time we had the internet. I started to look on the internet and I found the Feng Shui Training Center. And the reason that I chose it, because you just know, right? There's just like a gut. Like, there's some things that don't make sense, but like you just see something and you think, oh, that's my girl. The reason that I started as with my coach, Jana Kingsford, was because she does not do her hair. She doesn't brush her hair. I literally was looking at her and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to brush her hair. Like, all the time, I just want to brush her hair. She's like this free sort of like, just free spirit. And I love that about her. And I needed more free spiritedness in my life. And there was something about her that just, I was like, she doesn't even brush her hair. If she can go on live looking like that with wet hair, she lives in Australia and on the beach. So I'm like, if she can go live like that, I need more of that. I need more of just free spiritedness. And that's why I chose her. And when I chose the Feng Shui Training Center, it was because they said this Joseph Campbell quote. And the quote is something like, where they're, oh shoot, now I can't remember the quote, but it was like something about like, oh, it's going to drive me crazy. I'll post the quote in here, but there will, when you find your path, when you get on the right path, when you find your right path, there will be doors where there were once walls. And I went, oh my gosh. There will be doors where there were once walls. And I remembered thinking continually that I had a wall in front of me. There will be doors where there were once walls. Whew. This is the training for me. And that's how I knew. So I started learning and I started really focusing in on learning everything I could and using it for just practicing in my own space. So one of the things that everyone wants to know and everyone wants to always work on is their wealth. And that was the first thing that I wanted to do. So I started really understanding wealth. And so I stood in my front door and I had this perfectly rectangular house. So it was really easy to lay this Bag One map. And I'm going to have my tech team post the Bag One map for you. We're going to talk more about the Bag One map. We're going to talk about chi flow, which is energy flow in your home. We're going to talk about yin yang balance, and we're going to talk about the 5 elements throughout tomorrow and the next day. But one of the things that I did was I stood in my front entrance and I looked and I knew that the Bag One map says that my back left corner is wealth. That happened to me in my bedroom. I went into our bedroom and there was like way low on the wall, there was like a hole. And when we moved in, I think we like just were moving something and put a hole in the wall, and it was behind the head of our bed. So we didn't really think about that, you know, we just put the bed up. And I said to Cam, this is our wealth wall. This is our wealth corner. We need to do something magical here. I want to fix this hole in the wall. I want to repaint it and maybe get some new bedding. Now, you wouldn't have to do this. We could just sort of, you know, redesign, but that's what I wanted to do. And we had been talking about this before. We did this, and I was pregnant at the time with my first. And my husband and I don't drink a lot anyway, but of course I'm pregnant. I'm not drinking anything. And he because I wasn't drinking, he wasn't drinking either. Like we really don't drink very much. And so it was Christmas though. And we had people coming, we had my family coming for Christmas. And so my husband had gone to the liquor store and bought a bottle of wine. Now at the time, the liquor store in our small town had this draw. And the draw was you could win a brand new snow machine. I call them skidoos. So, and it was every purchase you get one ticket. Now, there were people, I'm not kidding you, who they went to this liquor store all the time, they drank a lot, and they were constantly going and getting back so that they could win this skidoo. Well, remember, I had just redone our wealth gua. One ticket, one bottle of wine, and we won the skidoo within about a week. We sold that skidoo. It was worth $10,000. And this is not out of the norm. This is what I see happen all the time. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but we had people who were mad. The Priestleys don't even barely drink. She's pregnant. He's not drinking at all. How is it possible that the Priestleys could have won this skidoo? I'm going there every day. These people were saying, I'm going there every day. We're buying booze. We got so many tickets in there. How is it possible that the Priestleys could win this skidoo? Feng Shui, man. It was. So I hope that today was really story time. Today was really like building up on all that it is for me. And my whole goal here is to help you to understand and help everyone that's following me on social media to understand that your space holds massive power. And my goal is to help you with the practical tips that you can do, not the superstitious shit, not the make me feel really scared because something's wrong in my space. Oh my gosh, my doors are on angles. Now what do I need to fix this? I want you to feel good in your space. I want you to know that every single space can be powerful. No matter, you do not need to live in a mansion. Also, sometimes mansions that are designed by designers, they look pretty, but if they don't represent who you are, they might not be as powerful as you could possibly make them. Sometimes when I go into these amazing mansions, no matter who it is, I go into these amazing mansions, I go into these amazing offices, and I look and go, beautiful, I love it, it's pretty. But this is your helpful people travel area. What do you want to create in this space. And I get like, what kind of look? No matter where you are, no matter what your home looks like, I will guarantee it isn't just make it nice, make it feel good. We can take that next step. We can make it powerful. So I hope you've liked this video. I am going to have the tech team upload my brand spanking new Bagua map. I think you're going to love it. You're going to look at it and go, Sandra, I don't get it. However, we're going to talk about the Bagua map tomorrow, and you're going to be able to use this map to really look at your space in a different way. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, it's 11:11. Angel numbers 11:11. What are we creating right now? All right. So I'm super excited. The other thing that I want to tell you, I am a leadership coach for female entrepreneurs, right? And one of the things that has been on my brain is helping female entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs really use the power of their space to design their business and to create the success, the massive success that they want in their business. So I've created something called For Fuck's Sakes, Move Your Desk. It is a 5-day Feng Shui training solely for female entrepreneurs. Solely for female entrepreneurs. One of the things that drives me bonkers is when women have a space that they've designed and an office that they've designed that is not nearly as powerful as it could be. Their office, their desks are like shoved into a corner. Like, you know, when you're sweeping and you've lost the dustpan and you don't know where it is, so you sweep it into a corner and just leave it there. This is not the way your desk should be. And there's so much more. It is 5 days immersive for Feng Shui just for entrepreneurs, and it will be $555, but throughout these 3 days, I'm giving you 20% off. So you can get this course for $444 Canadian. So that's about 300 plus US. 350 maybe US. I should take a look, but it'll switch. It'll switch automatically. This is going to be my signature course for Feng Shui for entrepreneurs. So I will be running it again. You will get lifetime access to it though. And if I run it again, you will be in that group as well. So lifetime access, every single time I run it, it will probably be different. There's so much to learn. There's so much to teach. There's so much that I can keep talking about. And so it's like the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm going to be posting that link in the next 15 minutes or so. I'm also going to have my tech team post the Bagua map in this group so that you can kind of take a look. And tomorrow we're going to do deep diving into how you can take this basic knowledge of Feng Shui and shift what you can manifest in your life. So I hope you have the best day ever. I'm so, so, so excited to be here with you. And I'm going to see you tomorrow at 10. If you have any questions, feel free, just message myself or the tech team and we will answer all the questions that you have. Okay? Bye. Oh, thank you so much, Shannon. You're so amazing. Bye. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. This has been fun.